Welcome back. Continuing to look rather lackluster for the markets at 11,846. We're down 0.7%. The broader markets in tandem, and that breadth skewed in favor of the losing side, with all sectors in the green, led by PSE as well as IT, banks and metals. But let's get a move on and find out whether or not the festive season is going to bring any cheer to the retail sector. Are there any special offers lined up, and what can we expect by way of demand? Joining in to talk about that is Kumar Rajagopalan. He's the CEO of the Retailers Association of India. Good to have you on board, Mr. Rajagopalan. How exactly is the demand playing out ahead of the festive season? Are you seeing a marked improvement from what we witnessed in terms of conversions in the month of, say, August, September?
We did see a good improvement in the month of September because our business was, if you aggregate most of the modern retailers, it was around 40 to 50% before September. In the month of September, the business became 60% as compared to last year. If you look at it as pure numbers, it doesn't look very good. But the fact is, from a 50% to 60% is the movement. We are also seeing that currently in the month of October, there is some amount of cheer. Most of these local lockdowns that was a pain has been removed. People are buying now. Many of them are buying online. Many of them are also buying offline. So there is lots more cheer. When customers come into the store, they are definitely buying. The cash memo sizes or the total buy sizes are becoming larger. It's more than double of what it was last year. So yeah, we are seeing some winds, which is telling that maybe things are improving.
And, how would you say that this season is the festive season in terms of what we witnessed last time in terms of expectations? Are you already seeing the pre-COVID levels now returning when it comes to demand? Is there anything specific in terms of observations as well within retail?
There are two parts to this. One part is about what are we doing in the market to make sure that consumption resumes. And while retailers and some of the local bodies have been supporting it, I think we are seeing lots more support coming in from the center now. Everybody recognizes that if consumption does not pick up in this country, it is a contagion effect, and therefore manufacturing is not then supported. And then the GDP, we all know where it's otherwise going to land us into. So consumption is becoming important. Everybody sees that very clearly. All the retailers are coming up with their own methods of ensuring that customers get what they want. And many of them are also trying to make sure that it's omni-channel capability that's got turned on for consumers, because many consumers are looking at what I would call as the pre-shopping or the discovery phase of shopping online, because they are sitting at home, they are looking what it is that they want to buy, and then they go into the store. When they go into the store, they don't know what they want to buy, and many a times they also know that they're not going to keep shopping again and again. So they go there and buy all the items that they want to buy. So we are seeing that although the customer entry is not so good, it's around 30-35%, our business has gone beyond the 60%. Our belief is that it will go maybe at about 80-90%, and in some cases, as we go nearer to Diwali, it can become 100% of last year. We may not see a big growth. I do have to say that some items have grown very well. All the items related to working from home, for example, like all the CDI, the consumer durables and information technology products, some furniture products, kitchen items have all really grown. The government has also done its bit now, because they just announced that for the central government employees, the LTC scheme, which was otherwise available for only travel expenditure, is now being converted into expenditure that can be made to go and buy items. They have put some caveats that it should be bought with very clearly digital trail available for the transaction. They have also put in a caveat telling the item should be 12% and above. They have also put in a caveat telling that it should not be food items. But I would still say that it's a great move from the government. I'm also told now that it's also encouraging the states to do the same. There is also a little bit of an input for the private companies to do the same, so they can convert LTC into an expenditure, which is not necessarily only travel. We all know that travel was also big on expenditure. Currently, consumers are not traveling. So these are all good things that's happening in the market. We are keeping our fingers crossed. There is cautious optimism.
Yeah, that. Mr. Rajagopal, if you could give us a little color on which are the markets or geographies which are performing better as opposed to the others. And are there any trends that you're picking up of any of the geographies which are coming back to pre-COVID or at least normal levels?
Till September, the south of India and the east of India was doing quite well. The west of India and the north part of India was still not there because we had quite a few of these local lockdown situations all across. In October, the current impression is that almost every single geography is doing better. Of course, the east of India normally recovers faster during the season because Durga Puja is a big event for the east, and our normal understanding of how the business is normally happens from the east, and we are already seeing a good sign there. So it would be that the east would recover faster, and that's the norm also, and then the rest would recover. Currently, we're not seeing any big problems across the country. There is no big issue of people needing to go to shops or buying. The government is encouraging it. All the retailers are following SOPs. The customers do know it. So it's quite nice the way in which things are picking up. We do hope that this sustains. Like I said, some items, there's a huge amount of demand, definitely. Any item that's related to sitting in the house and working, be it computers, be it various kitchen equipments, be it mobile phones, these are all items that's really selling well all across the country. We're also seeing good input for items relevant to marriage, because the marriage season is started. We are seeing some cheer there. We are seeing some amount of pickup for jewelry. Again, these are two items that was really bad in September, but now they are picking up very well.
Sure. How big a boost, Mr. Rajagopal, would the latest stimulus announcement by the government actually act as a boost to consumption? Or do you think more needs to be done from the policymakers?
This is a good step. I think the boost, this will help in making sure that there is a bit of a visibility to consumption in the country. We are retailers. End of the day, we would say that the government needs to do everything to make sure that consumption happens without a worry. We'll have to wait and watch. My understanding of what's happening is that there is not too much of money available in the government coffers. They are trying to do whatever they can from what they have. So for expenditure that they would have otherwise anyway done in terms of an LTC, they have rechanneled it for expenditure, definitely from a consumption standpoint. I do hope that lots more measures like this come up. From retailers' perspective, I think retailers would also try and do whatever they can. We are currently, as Retailers Association, trying to work with various retailers to ensure that consumers feel good about the season. They still do some gifting because gifting is big. And during any festival season, not only should a person be looking at themselves, they should also realize that there has been a lot of relationships that have now become very, very important. And they should try and help each other. They should give gifts. They should appreciate each other. And therefore, while the government is given its amount of gifts, I do hope consumers will also feel the need. Private companies will also, the employers will also have to help employees. The LTC scheme, I am told, is available for private employers also. I do hope that the private employers take it up and allow for the employees to use that, because they are not traveling, to use that for expenditure of a consumption nature by going and buying in the stores.
Sure. Okay. In terms of certain markets which are doing better than others, and even the festive uptick that you're kind of already starting to see and anticipating, do you see this as a near-term pickup or actually a sustainable recovery?
We would like to believe that this is a sustainable recovery. If you really look at the way India is currently behaving, if we all go out onto the roads and see what's happening to people, we are seeing quite a lot of people on the road. We are seeing that there is traffic on the roads. We are seeing movement. There are no real restrictions to movement within the country. So with all this, I would think that our capability as a country, what we always call as our demographic dividend, because there are so many consumers, should kick in. And we should hopefully be able to take this as a sustainable recovery. The only way in which things can go wrong is if local authorities at some point start doing things that was happening 2 or 3 months before, where they'll do lockdowns, or they start doing major restrictions and they worry some stores, or there are other issues that come up that would restrict retailers and consumers from interacting with each other. I do believe that the key safety norms are well established. We do know that there has to be social distancing. We do know that you've got to make sure that there is sanitization. But having said that, we can make sure that we can work in this new normal. So fingers crossed.